The concept of photocopy memory, often referred to as photographic memory, is a popular cultural trope representing the ability to recall information with perfect, instantaneous, and permanent fidelity. However, this report finds that as a scientifically verifiable phenomenon, true photographic memory is an unfounded myth. The very architecture of human memory, which is a constructive and fallible process rather than a passive recording, makes such an ability neurologically implausible. This report distinguishes the popular misconception from a handful of rare but scientifically documented forms of superior memory. The scientific community's stance on photographic memory is clear and consistent. There is a lack of compelling evidence that eidetic memory exists at all among healthy adults, and no evidence that photographic memory exists. One of the most frequently cited examples of supposed photographic memory is the case of Elizabeth, a student studied by Harvard vision scientist Charles Strohmeyer III in the 1970s. However, the study has been largely discredited due to significant methodological and ethical concerns. The results have never been replicated. Furthermore, Elizabeth consistently refused to be retested under different conditions, fueling skepticism among researchers. The most fundamental reason why photocopy memory is a myth lies in the very nature of human memory. The brain is not a passive recording device like a video camera or a hard drive. Instead, memory is an active, dynamic, and inherently constructive process. An individual's recollection of an event is not a retrieval of a static file but a reconstruction of that event. This process involves several key stages, each with its own limitations and design choices. Sensory memory, short-term and long-term memory. Highly superior autobiographical memory, HSAM, also known as hyperthymesia, is a rare condition characterized by the ability to recall a near-perfect volume of autobiographical detail and public events with specific dates. Individuals with HSAM can recount what they were doing and what the weather was like on a randomly chosen date from their past, but this recall is often described as uncontrollable and totally exhausting. The first documented case was a woman known as AJ, later identified as Jill Price, who could recall every day of her life from the age of 14 onward. Tentative neurological research on individuals with HSAM has shown some structural differences, such as an enlarged temporal lobe and caudate nucleus. Savant syndrome is another form of exceptional memory, but it occurs in individuals with an intellectual disability, autism, or other nervous system injuries or diseases. Savants demonstrate extraordinary, often prodigious abilities in specific and isolated domains. Their skills are almost always linked to a massive memory for specific types of information. Examples include being able to memorize thousands of books, as was the case with Kim Peek, or to recite complex musical compositions.